Imagine waking up and hearing that the same movement Peter Obi made popular has now expelled Peter Obi. Sounds shocking, right? But here's the story. Because many Nigerians are now asking, how can Obidient Movement remove the very man it was built around? Well, according to reports online, a faction claiming to be the original founders of the movement came out in Abuja and announced that Peter Obi, Yunusa Tanko, have been expelled. They even said they were changing the name from Obedient to Obedient. They removed I and put E. But some supporters of Obi are calling the entire thing political drama. And when you look deeper into the history of the movement, the story becomes even more complicated. So let's break it down carefully. According to the reports, this faction said Obidient Movement existed even before Peter Obi became the face of it. They claim it was originally called OBE, not Obedient. And that after Peter Obi joined the political conversation in 2022, the name was adjusted to OBI. According to the multiple reports we had, this faction said the movement existed before Peter Obi became the face of it. They claim it was originally called OBE, which is Obedient. And that after Peter Obi joined the political conversation in 2022, the name adjusted to OBI, which is Obedient, to reflect support for Obi. The group's spokesman, which is Dr. Barry Avotu Johnson, accused some people around Obi of hijacking the structure after 2023 election for personal and political interest. They also claim they now have dissolved the post-2023 leadership structure and want the movement to operate independently and not tied to Labour Party or any presidential candidate. But immediately this announcement came out, many Obedience Online rejected it. Yunusa Tanko reportedly dismissed the expulsion as false and even questioned how many people could expel Peter Obi from a movement that became globally known because of him. But honestly, that's where the debate is now, because whether you support Obi or not, many Nigerians believe one thing. The Obidient Movement may have had roots before Peter Obi, but it exploded because of Peter Obi. Before 2022, very few Nigerians had heard anything called Obedience or OBE in the national politics. But during 2023 election, the movement became one of the strongest youth-driven political forces Nigerians ever seen in years. Young people, first-time voters, professionals, Nigerians in diaspora, many rallied around Peter Obi under that identity, Obedience. So now, some people are asking the question, is this truly about protecting the movement, or this is another political power struggle happening ahead of 2027? And to make matters even more interesting, this is not the first internal crisis connected to the movement. Months ago, a diaspora group also reportedly pulled away from the obedience structure, accusing some people within the movement of poor leadership and internal dysfunction. So clearly, there has been cracks behind the scene for a while now. But despite all this noise, Peter Obi himself continued political consultation ahead of 2027, according to statements released by the movement loyal to him. Another important point many people forget is this. Peter Obi himself once said, Obidient Movement is bigger than any political party and not officially owned by one structure alone, which means the movement today may no longer have one single authority controlling it. And that is exactly why different fractions are now emerging, like the City Boy movement. You get what I'm saying? In fact, some people are now bringing the CETY movement. At the end of the day, this entire conversation reveals something bigger about Nigerian politics. Movement built around emotions, hope, mass support often become difficult to control once different interests begin to enter. One faction says they are reclaiming the original faction. Another side says nobody can remove the symbol that gave the movement global recognition. But the real question Nigerians may need to ask is this: can the Obidient Movement survive if it becomes divided before 2027? Or this crisis, will it make Peter Obi more popular? Guys, what do you think? Can anybody truly expel Peter Obi from the Obidient Movement? Is it possible? Nigeria is PO, possible. A better Nigeria is PO, possible. All of this is simply political positioning ahead of 2027. They are just trying to leech on Obi's name, right? But for you, drop your thoughts in the comment section. What do you think? Is this a propaganda? Do you think it's sponsored by internal? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on post notification for more deep political stories and hidden angles coming out of Nigerian politics ahead of 2027 like this. I'll see you on the next one.